Are you ready? Let's go. Well, good morning, everybody, and good morning,
Good
Mr.
morning.
We're at least at the moment, it's just going to be Rick and myself because I got a text from Matt a little while ago. The internet is down there in his neighborhood. So yeah, I had that problem last week on Tuesday. My modem here at the house was dying a slow slow spasms of death. So we put a new one in here. So it's working a little bit better. And Rick and Marco decided I needed to cut down the fidelity of my camera so that hopefully it'll cut down on some of the glitching back and forth. We'll test that theory out, and if it works, then you're going to have to
So far, it's been perfect. Look, there's no delay.
But you know what? It's only the two of us, so we could be running high def this morning, and it might be enough. But you know,
it doesn't work. The system won't take high def.
So hey, Mr. Mitchell,
wrong.
Yep. And
so anyway, I like that the RFK man Priest on the pole and nice. Kozlowski in sixth.
Good. And I asked you before, what track is this today? Sorry, I haven't checked.
Richmond.
Oh, okay.
Richmond, north of Richmond, or whatever that kid made a big hit song. I don't know.
Richmond,
north of Richmond. It took me a while to figure that out. It was Washington, D.C. Yep. I live in California. Yep. And there's a track in Richmond. I used to go to Richmond, but I never went up to Washington, D.C. Must not be that far away. That's probably pretty close, huh?
Yep. I got to let people in on it seems that the internet is trying to restart the modem. Seems that the internet is out in the neighborhood. So, Matt's still, hey, Matt, if you happen to, if that thing fires up, check in. So, I had to, Bart's little joke there is, I'm trying to find the photo here. I sent Bart this morning. I said, you know what those are? You guys who have purchased these for your decals or cutting your body panels for RC cars. Those fantastic Tamiya scissors, curved blade scissors. They work great on the nose hairs. Just saying for you guys who
they're too wide.
No, they work fine. They work fine. You must have pinched nostrils.
Yeah, too wide.
You just got to be careful with them because like a hobby knife, will cut your thumb off with them. What's that?
They make real scissors for that.
I have those, but they don't cut as nicely.
Get a new pair. But anyways, yeah, gonna be exciting. I think that the Chase Elliott fans, he's up in there. He's what was he? Let me see. He was right up in there. He always does pretty good on these shorter tracks. Yeah, he was fifth. Denny Hamlin, though. Allmendinger. I'll tell you that Kozlowski win. Boy, there's a lot of guys up there that, this is one of those tracks that's good to start up front. You know, surprised that Ty Dillon, 16th.
Hey, I'm going to give a quick shout out, Rick, a quick shout out to anybody that's around the Mid Iowa Modelers Expo. Dan Zimmerman, thank you for streaming this this show. As far as copyrights go, I don't care. Glad to have you guys on here joining us for the show this morning. And hey, you guys that do this at want to do this at other shows, please. We are happy to have you show our ugly faces. So thanks, Dan.
Yeah, there's no copyright laws on YouTube, guys.
Yep.
That's why you get X amount of clips, and that's why when people show clips from other people's like songs or whatever, they get, I don't know, 10 seconds or whatever it is, 15 seconds, you know, and then they have to cut away or whatever. But anyways, back to, and then now we got, luckily, Thursday night, Marco stayed late, and before they shut the factory down on Thursday night late, all the Alex Pillows came. So they'll be going out Monday morning, and Jim got his already. Tina shipped it. Yeah.
I got mine yesterday, and they shot the video this morning. I'll edit it as soon as this is done and have that uploaded. And you know, it's most of everything that's in our kits is pretty straightforward, except for the exceptional decals. And of course, Clay just did a beautiful job. So he always does a great job. Love to be able to show his stuff off. Alex Pillows, some may have gone out yesterday. The rest are going to be going out this week.
None went out.
Okay, so they'll be they'll
all go out on Monday.
In case you guys haven't figured it out, I am a special case. So Tina over at the factory, as soon as the first one that comes off the line, they don't even shrink wrap mine. They grab it off the line, throw it in a box, and get it out that day, because I've so that I can get the videos up for you guys. So is Pilow's car a Honda powered car? I do believe.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Ganassi runs Honda, guys. Yep. Come on, you guys got to get your Indy car going here. Let's go.
And probably it'll be after the season, but Rick has already talked to his old buddy Chip, and we'll get him on. I doubt that it would be alive, but we'll get Chip on and do Rick will record a video with him, and that should be fun. So lots of good stuff. And you know what?
Yeah, we got him. And who was the other one? Ron Capps.
Ron Capps. And you know what? We need to go back.
I talked with Ron last week. Yeah, he'd love to do it, he said.
And a short bus special project. Yeah, thanks, Bart. Need to go back to some of those videos that we did on Facebook with some of the guys, and we need to do them again, because Facebook, if now, unless you save or stream it here, they erase them. So all of our old Facebook videos are gone, and we need to get some, because we had some great interviews with Seagraves and Waddell
Wilson,
Lauren. We just had some great stuff. And
Inman.
Yes, Kelvin, I got mine first because I am a special case. Yes, a special bus. Yes, Bart.
Yeah. So
yeah.
So anyways, yeah. So and by the way, so let's throw it up. Non-club members, if you're a club member, this is the kit you're getting for the kit of the month. The Marty Robbins, not available to the general public. Yep. Club member exclusive. Pretty cool kit. Clay did great. And by the way, see that yellow bands around the wheels? Those decals are inside the box. So all you have to do is spray. Well, the car is purple, but if you want to spray it purple, and then put on all that yellow. That's all that yellow comes in the decals. The car ran with a chrome front bezel The one on the box does not have a chrome bezel around the front. It's painted. So we threw the chrome in just in case. But if you want to replicate that exact car, you'd use the plastic one. They're both in there. And so, yeah, as you can see in the back bumper, he didn't use chrome either. The only is just those side plates that have sheet metal to go around the bumper. And Petty's in the 71, 72, they would paint all the bumpers too. But yeah, cool car. That's it's going to be a neat one. We got one more club exclusive coming before the end of the year. Excited about that one. And then along with that car, the bourbon car. Finally, my bourbon car. My barrel, I don't know what kind of Cowbush bourbon.
Rebel bourbon.
Cowbush bourbon. I love that. The decal sheet on that. It's so washed out in that photo.
I hope Clay fixed that. I see it says 2024 Chevy. I hope Clay fixed that one. It says 2024 Chevy. I hope Clay fixed that.
Oh, wow. No, probably didn't.
Oh, well.
Well, it's 2025, but
yeah. It'll sell. It's not going to, that's, what'll happen is people will say, hey, dummy, it's 25. Yeah, I know. But you know what? It's not going to slow down people from buying it. They'll point and giggle and say, Jim screwed up again.
My Larson combo. Yeah, all the Larson combos went out. Every single one. So the IndyCar and that already went out with the Kid of the Month last month, the 600 car. But there was that combo package where you just could push one button and buy both. And that all went out. And Pillow, I thought Pillow would be the following week, but it's this week. It's here. So that's exciting. I'm going to build the Pillow.
I'm trying to find it.
Indy 500 winner. Drinking his milk. Mm-hmm. Yeah, those all went out. We still have some in stock. That car is all white, by the way. This car is all yellow, and Clay provided all that red. So if you don't want to paint, you don't have to paint. If you want to just spray the car yellow and put the red decals on, that would probably be the best way to go.
Danny, if everything was correct on everything, it would be a first, not this being my first mistake. Come on, most of us are married. We know that we're always making mistakes and reminded about them.
Yeah, so it's going to be a great weekend with Richmond. We got, 2 more races after this. See how the playoffs go. It's going to be exciting to see who makes it. And I don't know who's left, really. I mean, I think like there's a few of them. The regular championship is that'd be a battle between Chase and Byron, right? I think pretty much. I think so. If you look at the standings, 42 points. Yeah, Denny still would have an outside chance if they had the old style championship.
Bart thinks that a discount coupon for the Rebel Bourbon should be included in the box.
Yeah, I think Rebel Bourbon should. You know who bought them? I think they did the other bourbon one, Traveler's Whiskey.
Really? They bought Rebel?
they bought some. Yeah.
Wow.
They sold them. Yeah. We didn't have any contact with Rebel Bourbon, but Traveler's Whiskey, no, they really got in there, man. And then we're talking about what cars to finish the year off. I think we only have a couple spots, and we're talking the Kyle Larson, Cowboy Country Western thing, Zach Brown, PPG.
If it were one or the other, I would vote for the PPG rather than the Rebel Bourbon, or not Rebel Bourbon, the Zach Brown. It's cool. The black and gold car is very cool, but I would prefer to go the PPG. I think it.
Oh, you're just a Joseph Newgarden fan. Come on,
No, I'm not.
admit it.
No, I'm not. Not really. I
Admit
like
it.
him, but I don't. I don't really have a dog in that fight yet. Other than I like Santino. He's just, he's just a cool guy.
Well, then you have
He's
a
got
dog.
the best hair in IndyCar. So what do you say?
Yeah, the best hair. I like that hair. Yeah. that mop top, that thing he has. Yeah.
It's kind of sort of a mullet.
Yeah. So yeah, but how about Will Power pulling that off, man? That was
Yep.
dude, you're the fastest guy in the history of IndyCar as far as poles go. Not the most wins, but still, you've done it all. You won the Indy 500. You won the championship. You got more poles than anyone else. And you're 40-something years old,
and he's the only
young guy coming up
right now.
There's a young guy coming up, and God, that's a tough choice. I don't know. That's going to be that would be just a real tough one to make. You can't lose David Malukas. That kid's going to be young and blazing fast. So
Michael Sullivan, the trick for making a custom Connor Zilic figure is you take one of those driver figures that I've got, and then you just cut all the joints and glue them back together in all sorts of weird positions. So, yeah, poor guy.
Oh, the kid that fell.
Oh,
that was another one. That was another one that was up too. Connor Zilic's Red Bull car.
Yep.
His part-time cup. I don't know how many races he ran. He ran a handful. Yeah, he just broke his collarbone though. That ain't nothing.
And
I watched that's only weeks.
How did he break his collarbone? But
he probably fell on it. Yeah.
It didn't look like he landed on it. So
I only watched it once. I didn't want to watch it. It was gross.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I'm not one of those guys that just sit there, and watch Gordon Somali's wreck 50 times over, Once was good enough for me. Gilles Villeneuve once. Every once in a while that'll pop up on YouTube or Facebook and you get stuck watching it, That's a good show, by the way, you guys. I don't know if it's Max or if it's HBO, but Villeneuve Peroni. It's a documentary about Jacques Villeneuve, the non-world champion, and his kid became Indy 500 winner and Formula One world champion and kart champion. Pretty, that's a very underrated driver is Jacques Villeneuve for his accomplishments. He went from IndyCar, won the championship, won the Indy 500, and then he went over in his second year and won the Formula One world title. And of course, got in the Williams, which was the fastest car. That's what, really matters over there. But still, he pulled it off. That was a good one. And then the next year, they didn't have a good car and kind of faded off in the sunset. But yeah, that was. But anyways, his dad was a phenomenal driver. Didn't get a lot of wins because he didn't live very long. But and they didn't race that many races back then. But Peroni, they had a hell of a fight going. There was 1 and 2 in the points, and neither one of them make it to the end of the year. So yeah, you got to watch it. It's really interesting. And the kids are all in it. Peroni's kids, Jacques in it, Jacques' mom's in it, Peroni's first wife and second wife. So it's really cool. I don't know. I think it called Villeneuve versus Peroni or something like that. It's pretty new. And his kid was actually one of the technical directors on Lewis Hamilton's Mercedes. Peroni had twins, but she was pregnant with him when he died.
But at least he got a disease named after him.
Yeah, Peroni. I don't know. I'm probably not saying it right. Did he have he's a Frenchman.
Yeah.
Those French. Hey, how many years did it take us to get Alain Prost's name right? I mean, we started off with I forgot his name already. Our favorite Formula One announcer, David Hobbs.
Yeah, David Hobbs. Yeah,
Al Prost.
Yep.
It was Al Prost, and what was Ayrton Senna. Ayrton Senna. Yeah, that's what it was. Ayrton.
Bill Styrewalt.
Ayrton.
Bill Styrewalt. If you want anything on the modifieds, those are all done through Wes Hurst. Wes's Model Car Corner. Check with him to see what he's got on those. Our name is on the box because we did the design on it, but that's all gone through Wes. So check with him on that for the modifieds.
Yeah.
Bob Varsha, yes. Bob Varsha was my favorite announcer too. He had such a fantastic voice. Jealous. I've always been jealous of him. Long ago, I wanted to be a disc jockey, and but I never really had the voice for it. Still don't.
No.
But you don't have to agree so quick, Rick.
What?
You don't have to agree so quick.
Yeah. Disc jockey. I mean, Wolfman Jack. And what does that mean?
Yep.
There's not a voice. It's just, I don't know. I never liked disc jockeys because they talked while the record was starting.
Yep.
So
yep.
I wasn't much of a radio guy.
We both
have
a
record guy
for radio.
Yeah, I'm a record guy. So, but yeah, good racing this weekend. We got great models coming out. We got the. I'm looking forward to that. Chase Elliott's going to be a cool one with the Children's Hospital and the tire mark on it. I can't wait to see how many guys put the tire mark on compared to how many guys don't. The donut's in there, and it was like, should we put it on? Should we not? It's in there to put it on if you want.
Yep. Hey, I'm going to unplug my ears for a second and roll back and grab something.
And then what the big thing I've been working on is it's over there. I had to leave yesterday, but I have everything prepped to put the complete rear on the Lotus 38 because you have to drill holes and stuff, being in metal and resin. So as soon as I'm done with my coffee and stuff, I'll go over there and pop the rear end together and should have it we'll have the front end done by next week. So it should pretty much be done by next week. By the time we're on the show, I'll be able to show it to you. So tires phenomenal.
Just in case you get that Chase Elliott kit and want to, we're going to have these driver figures with posable arms, especially if you can put them on the correct arm. Yep, there we go. So sorry, I don't have enough. I'm not an octopus. I cannot hold all the arms and arms for this, but we'll have the little figure. If you want one of those and to pose it next to your car, or put a ball with green and white stripes on it on another driver. I'm not saying who, but you can do that. So yeah, those are going to be available very shortly on the in the web store, along with the where is it? He's around here someplace.
Who hit? I don't know who Chase hit. I didn't even know he had a donut in his car till they took that photo.
Yeah, it was right
at
the end, wasn't it?
I had no idea. I don't even know who the hell he hit. Yeah, no, it was you just, when they're racing, you don't notice it on there. And especially that car was such a mishmash that till he parked on the front straight, I didn't even know he had a donut on the car.
Yeah, who was it that tagged him? Because I don't think it was very very far from the end. So
there you go. I agree with Brian. That is the greatest voice on radio ever, Barney Hall.
Never heard.
No two ways about it. The greatest, and a good friend of mine.
Oh,
passed
really?
away several years ago. Him and Ned Jarrett and Barney Hall. I don't think you'd very rarely see one without the other. And then Ned went up in the booth.
No, Ken, there are no decals available for any of the drivers at the moment. Hey, Jose, don't Corey LaJoie's a cool guy. I met him once. Nice guy. Don't go throwing rocks at him. He's not a joke. He's a better driver than anyone that's watching right now. Okay. So Rick's been
that's the biggest joke. And I always tell the story. We have a mutual friend, the guy that actually introduced the two of us. Dave, his name's Dave, but he was like, we thought, man, this guy's a great motocross racer. I mean, go to any track, he looked like, gosh, this the world champion caliber.
Yep.
He went and tried to qualify for Anaheim, didn't even make it to the qualifying.
Oh yeah.
So when you see that guy that's getting lapped after 10 laps,
yep,
trust me, that guy, if you went to any of your motocross tracks, you'd be going, that's the greatest driver I've ever seen in my life. Yep. That's how good these guys are. We all throw rocks at Ty Dillon, and there's not very many. There's a handful of guys that are better than him, and they just happen to all be in NASCAR because that's where the money's at.
Yep.
But I mean, there's not the old buy a ride like Marty Robbins. He was actually a good racer. He would race his dirt car, every time he was off the road. So he was a racer, but I mean, the days of buying a ride are long gone. I mean, you have to buy in at even if you take the kid in Formula One, his dad owns the team with Alonso Stroll.
Yeah.
I mean, they started that kid at 6 years old. He raced against all of his peers all the way through karting, Formula 2, Formula 1, Formula 3. I mean, even though he's rich, he still had to go through the pain and the agony of the work. There is no more, Paul Newman's buying a ride, from Sharp and jumping in a Trans Am car. I mean, maybe a Trans Am level because it's not as big as it was. But these top levels, there's no free lunches. In fact, I would bet most Indy cars drivers, even Cup drivers, I would say probably half the field makes minimal money.
Yep.
There's only a handful of guys making a lot of money in fact, Formula One. I think a lot of those guys have to bring money, to get a ride. And I think in the back end of the IndyCar field, you got to bring money. I think same with not so much in Cup lately, but there are guys that bring money and get in. But Danica was one. She wouldn't actually bring the money, but the sponsors followed her. She was a no-brainer. Danica made a lot of money. She was great for the sport, but again, she wasn't terrible. You can tell me Danica Patrick's terrible. She won an IndyCar race.
Yep. You can't do that unless you've got a certain amount of talent. There's just simply the people you're around.
And she ran over in Europe in the feeder series.
Mm-hmm.
Then she came over here and ran Indy. We called it Indy Lights back in the day, but they call it something else now. Indy Next.
Mm-hmm.
But she did that. She came up all the way, and she actually there's some great pictures of her and the great Indy driver Sam Hornish driving karts when they were little, and Sam's going over her head. They're wrecking, and Sam's on top of her. I think, or it might be vice versa. I don't remember, but yeah, it shows them just as kids. They were, so no, there's no buy. You got to bring money to get in. There's no doubt about it. But it seems like the majority of the greats come in with no money. They're just good. Like Hamilton, they had enough for not even a top-notch kart, and he became the winningest Formula One driver. The Petties never had crap, and he won the most NASCAR races. AJ Foyt came out of nothing. He won the most IndyCar races. So, I mean, there was none of those guys bought their way in.
Yeah.
Scott Dixon had backers to get from Australia to get here, but he had to pay him back. They got a piece of his purse. He paid him off years ago and ended up becoming one of the all-time greats. And I'm sure Pelot had something similar, because in the other countries, you can get, it's almost like boxers now, you can get backing, but then they get it's an investment, so then they get a piece of your earnings. And so they're saying, that they take that's big in boxing. And so they'll look at a prospect like, Alex Pelot.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not saying Alex has that. I don't know, but I know that Dixon had it. And they go, this guy's going to be unbelievable. And they invest in him, to help him get through the series. It was same story with Lewis Hamilton with Ron Dennison from McLaren. Took a look at him driving his old kart and winning races with it, and going, this kid's something special. And McLaren actually backed him.
Well, it's like your dad when he saw Kyle Larson. This has been years ago. He looked at Kyle Larson and he could see that talent. He'd seen drivers for years, but he saw how Kyle Larson drove, and he really picked him out as being special. And your dad wasn't in the position of picking and choosing talent and stuff, but he knew it when he saw it because he'd been around it for so much.
Oh yeah, the minute he hopped in Chip's car, he goes, well, I think it was, we were watching, it might have been Michigan or something. It was the first time he pointed it out to me. He goes, I like that Larson kid.
Yep.
And I go, why? It reminds me of Richard Petty because he ran the wall, I don't think people realize Richard, that's how Richard had so much success, I think, was Richard ran the wall a lot. And back then, they came off of those short tracks, so I think it took a while for people to understand it. He was the first one. And then, the guys are so talented, then they start copying, and then other guys do it, and you find some others. But, Kyle Larson, where the hell is he in this weekend's race? I didn't even see his name. He's had a bad couple of weeks, hasn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's had a bad, let's see, Ryan Preece on the pole. Boy, that would shake things up if Ryan Preece won, wouldn't it? Or if Brad won, he's out of the top 10.
Would be great to see. Brad's kind of an underdog in a sense. I love to want to see that guy win, just like I want to see Kyle Busch win something. I'm not particularly fans of the guys, but you know what? I kind of like him, and I want to see him. I want to see him do something. Hey, while you're looking at that, I'm going to show something that a little bit of progress, a little tiny bit of progress on this thing this week, guys, and that is I printed out all the parts for the engine, and I got the just a test assembly on the engine. There's a couple things that that's why I do this, is to be able to print them, build them, and go, oh, I missed something here. Something's too tight. Something I got to fix. So that this is what Rick and I did so much on the IndyCar. We went back and forth on several things. There were some parts we probably changed half a dozen times to get them so that they would do exactly what we wanted. And that's why that IndyCar kit goes together nicely, a lot better than the next gen. If we'd had the chance to do that on the next gen more than we did, it would have gone together better. And for those thinking that why can't you fix? No, we can't. You can't. It's just going back and
you have to build a whole new mold. There's no fixing.
Cost prohibitive, kids.
No, there is no fixing. It just doesn't work.
Rick, there's somebody commented this week.
I don't see. There he is, Kyle Larson, 30th. Wow. Didn't have a good day, huh?
No.
Joey Logano, 38th. He must have not qualified.
Matt posted some pictures of some of the accessory parts that we're going to have for the next gen, like the brakes and stuff. And somebody said, why didn't those come out in the kit? Well, first off,
can't 3D print, bud.
First off, yeah, we would have had to have like the brakes. You would have had to have had for that. The brakes would have had to have been a left side, a right side on the calipers, and then the discs separate. There's so much you would have had to have done, and we've already got so much in that kit. We don't need anything else on the kit, and there's really only going to be a small number of people, relatively, that are going to look at that and go, you know what? I want to add those sprinkles to my cupcake. I want to add those brakes. I want to add this. I want to add that part. That, there's not a lot of you guys that are going to do it, but for a few, they're there. There's other people making some stuff, and so we're going to be doing more and more of those for the Indy cars. For you know what? I don't have. Let me see if I can load. I got shocks for that Indy car. Let me see if I can find some of the. Yeah, here we go.
Yeah, they're the oval shocks, the weight jacker ones. Yep.
Yeah, that's in KeyShot. That's importing a CAD file into KeyShot and rendering it with the colors and stuff. But you can paint them too. And yeah, those springs are probably the wrong color. I think they probably run black ones for Indy because the weights are what
I think it's blue. I see a lot of blue.
It could be, but you can see what they look like. That's the only reason I gave them the colors. So, yep.
Yeah, I don't even think the teams like the teams color code their own crap. So the teams could have the same density of shock and be a different color. Of course they don't want to tell the other teams what they're doing. So I would definitely think that they would all screw their colors up so that the other teams just can't glance over and go, oh, what do they got? So because that is one area the IndyCar allows each team to work on is the shocks. You're free to run your own shocks. And that's a big part.
A couple of years ago, Mike Guidry and I went down to AJ's place down towards Houston, and they let us go back and look at. They had a couple of the tubs. This was between seasons. I think it was like January, and They just asked that I not take any pictures of the what they were working on the tubs, because they had the suspension. And like you said, that's the difference. That is, everything else on the car is the same thing except for those, and that's the proprietary stuff that they want to keep secret at the time. So anyway,
yeah, it's the shocks. That's what that's where the bundling up with Penske. Say whenever you have an alliance with Andretti or Penske or with Ganassi, you get the shocks, and that's one of the big things. Then you get setups in there. I mean, there's a lot to it. It's a game of it's a game of inches like NASCAR. But those alliances, it's people that a cup car. They're all the damn same. You think anybody could get in and make it work, but no. It takes a bunch of people. I mean, you can change the cambers. You got guys like Denny Hamlin, knows how to save tires. Get gas mileage.
If you can use a piece of tape in places to get just that little bit more edge on arrow, like
finish 1-2. Yeah,
exactly. So it's a pretty
how
fine line. Yeah.
It's the cars are just so equal, but sometimes some guy will just hit it right and they'll take off like they have a totally different car than everybody else, and then they'll show up next week with that same car and it goes nowhere. It just worked on that track with that setup that time, and it's just how it is. And the Cup's in great shape. I mean, you got this kid coming up with the broken collarbone. You got Carson Holsevar. They got plenty of new young stars coming up, so it's going to be exciting. IndyCar's got the same. They got
I was thinking Gibbs was going to eventually win something, but like I said, I don't have a particular dog in the fight. I just want to see a good race. I'm kind of losing faith in Ty Gibbs. Especially when you've got, like you said, Carson Hocevar coming along, and when Zilich comes back healthy, how's he going to come in and start making an effect? I was hoping Gragson was going to do something, and he kind of has, he just kind of hasn't done much either. So, there's some good guys to watch, just like you are looking at Malukas, and you are saying, if you could put money and invest in that kid right now, you would be putting some money on that boy, because he will be good one day.
Yeah, he's going to be good in a short order. And remember, don't forget, Joey Logano got fired from Home Depot. So some guys, so I wouldn't give up on Gibbs in any means.
Yeah.
It just might take him, they all they all rise at a certain point. There's no doubt he's got the sheer speed, and he's fast on all types of tracks. So he definitely is quick. It just might take an extra couple of years, like it took Joey to become a winner. Now Joey's an old man. Hey, it's not. We were talking about ages, and greatest thing, like Mario winning in his 50s. But it's hard to do that. I mean, think of it. Jeff Gordon faded in his early 40s. Jimmy Johnson fading in his early 40s. Dale Earnhardt won like crazy in his 40s. Richard Petty won like crazy in his 40s. Some guys, and Mario probably, again, Mario won the world title at 38, came back to IndyCar at 40 some, probably early 40s, like 43 or something like that. And then ended up winning another championship at 40 some years old, and went all the way to 50 and won a race at 50. So, yeah, there's just some guys that can go. AJ went a long time. I mean, AJ still be driving if he could fit in the car. You know, that was always the joke. He couldn't get in that damn March anymore. You know, it's the only reason he retired. He'd still be driving, but he was another one, you know, competitive. And you know what? He never had any help, yet he'd go to Indy, he'd put that thing up front. You know, he'd always be competitive, trying to win that fifth, you know. And we still got Castro Neves trying to win the fifth. He's in his 50s now, too, right? Castro Neves? I think he is. Or Sato. One of the two of them. I think
he can always fall back on his dancing career.
Yeah, no, I think he's just fine.
Yep.
He's just fine.
Well, you know what?
An ownership stake over there.
It's cool to see, like watch the races and then see Tony Kanaan come out, that somebody that everybody loves, and he's there at the races, in the pits and running the team, and oh, by the way, when they need him, he'll jump out into a car. So
he was gonna run. I forgot now who's.
Was it Kyle?
Was it
Kyle's car? I don't know. It's great.
Oh yeah, I was going to drive Kyle's car if Kyle had to go over.
It's great to see having masters like that who can come along and can be mentoring the younger guys, and they can mentor the younger guys and say, you know, because they know exactly what needs to be done, because they can go out and they can do it. Maybe not quite to the extent that one of the younger guys that's a little more of a lunatic can do, but they can go out and they can teach them. It's that valuable skill that people who've been doing something for years, it's that wisdom of the knowledge gained from doing things wrong. But you've got that wisdom and say, okay, let's don't try these stupid things. Go straight to this, and you'll have success with that. So yeah.
Well, Sato's in the front row. He qualified second this year. You know, runs one race. So you know, when you're good there at that particular track. The guys Ari Leindyke held on for years. You know, the guy that can get around Indy can get around Indy, and it's really, it's not age, it's figuring it out. I mean, Gordy won in his 40s. You know, that it's not. You see a lot of 40-year-old winners at Indy, and that's probably one of the few tracks, because you have to be so smooth, and you have to be so brave. So it's a combination of, you know, trusting the car. Jimmy Johnson, if you guys get a chance, watch that interview with Dell Jr. Jimmy talking about his IndyCar experience. I know it was with Paul Tracy. I take that back. It was with Paul Tracy. He does a podcast, and boy, did he lose some weight. He looks great. I got to lose some weight after seeing Paul. He looks great. He actually looks younger, you know, with all that weight loss. But he had a great interview with Jimmy Johnson, and he just said the whole technique is different, you know, where you find the edge of the car, because a Cup car doesn't have downforce, right? I mean, they do have them little wings, but Indy cars have major downforce, right? So when you get to the edge, you got to go over the edge to make the wings work better. Whereas a Cup car, you get to the edge and you know, okay, I found my edge. For him, because he was so used to that style of racing, it was hard for him to go over that other side. Not to say that they're more talented, because the IndyCar guy would be used to going over the edge, and then he'd burn the tires off the Cup car, and, you know, a handful of laps, and everybody would blow by him. You know, So I mean, it's an art to drive every style of car, and the crossover is not good. Kyle Larson showed that. You know, some of the NASCAR guys, Sam Hornish was a fun, but he did good in the Xfinity car when he got in the right car, a Gibbs car. But you know, even Franchetti went over. Who else went over? Montoya. But then Chip didn't have great equipment then. But it's hard to cross over, you know, with these cars. They're so on edge now, and everybody has having the same thing. You know, before Mario could go over with a Holman and Moody motor in '67 and be one of four guys with this monster motor, and he wins the race, you know, or Jim Clark could show up with a rear engine Lotus and win the Indy 500 out of Formula One. Well, with everybody running cars that are so, even Formula One and everything, where they're so closely spec'd now to where everybody pretty much has the same thing, you have to be able to hone your driving skills and your communication with your pits and your, you know, it's little inches now, you know, millimeters, whatever. And so the crossover thing, it's not because the teams don't allow them. It's just too hard to do. It's not like before. You didn't have that big gap, you know. You couldn't just show up at AJ showed up at Daytona, jumped in the Wood Brother car, and you know, he won it.
Yep.
But you just don't. Graham Hill showed up at Indy, you know, and he won the Indy 500. Kind of lucked into it, but yeah, there's no luck in it. You win. You're the winner no matter how you win it.
Yep. Hey, I brought this question up, Rick, because I thought it was a good one. Just curious, which kit had the biggest production challenge? Which do you think it was? Do you think it was the original Gray Ghost?
No, the next gen car.
Do you think it's this one, the Lotus?
No, it's the next gen car.
You think it was the next gen? There's stuff on the Lotus that we're going back and forth and back and forth and back and forth, but yeah, the next gen had
the problem with the next gen car is that material that he just showed you did not exist when we made it.
Yeah.
So there was this really brittle material, so we could never pre-build the car.
Well, so, we did, but not like we're doing
now. Not capable of. I was never able to. So we got the parts, and then we started to have to weld, and I mean, no. Thank God we never have to go through that again, because 3D printing has gotten a lot better to where, and it's not so much the finished product is great. 3D printing is cool for like little parts that have gaps in them, stuff you can't pull out of a press, right? So like those shocks and stuff, I mean, you can't make those with in plastic. They have to be 3D printed. So whenever you were answering that question earlier, why don't they come in a kit? Because you can't make them out of plastic. It's impossible, you know?
Yep.
And in the old days, what we did is they used machine aluminum with actual springs. So if you wanted to make shocks, and then you were paying $50 to $75 for a set of shocks that fit on a particular car, because by the time a guy made a small run and sold them to the handful of guys that were willing to pay that stupid money, you know, that's what he had to sell them for to make a buck. You know?
And you're looking at one of the people that buys those or bought those machined shocks and everything for those builds, and it ain't this one.
Oh, yeah, no, I mean, it's no different than photo etch, and I mean, you can go on and on. We can make our kit, you know, $500, but you know, you're not going to sell them because most people don't want to do that, like myself included. I would say 90% of my builds are curbside. it's enjoyable. And then every once in a while, we lose our minds and we go nuts. And so like Jim was saying, there's just not a big market for those shocks. I mean, yes, we'll sell some because, everybody has that one they're saving up for the build. And especially in 3D printing, if you're going to buy one set, you want to buy two or three, just in case you break them. Because you never, like, if they do a kit for the Lotus 79, I think about 5 of them to make one car,
And also with the 3D printing, it's like so those shocks. Let's say that we haven't figured out what we're going to charge on those shocks, but let's say it's $10 for a tree of shocks. Okay, that's great. You build them, you screw it up, you buy another one for $10. Okay, it's no big deal. You buy those $40-50 machined aluminum shocks, and then you lose a part in your carpet. You got to spend another $50 to buy what the dog found out of the carpet, ate it, and deposited somewhere in the backyard. So it is cheap. Yeah, there's benefits to the metal stuff, but there's also benefits to the printed stuff. It brings it down in the price where more people can get more companies, more aftermarket guys can be making parts and doing stuff like that for our kits, other kits, etc. You can go right now to several places and either they can print, they've got the files there, they're print them out, or you can buy the files and print them out. But you can get all sorts of stuff like this. I mean, I could have probably gone and downloaded the files for these rather than create it. But that's my job. But other places you can go buy those and you can print them out and you can build your own stuff. One of our builders is doing a funny car right now, and he's done that. I think he got a vacuform body, and then he's been printing out those parts to build his funny car. And that's the new levels of this hobby. And for us, the prototyping of making those, testing those originals, testing those assemblies, this Lotus, the whole entire thing is printed parts. Now we're dealing with the resin body parts from Matt. We're dealing with the metal production parts. Okay, come on. And sometimes we even have to deal with a dog. So that's just the changes of the hobby all the way around.
It's still, there's nothing like styrene, guys.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Let's face it. All these other methods, white metals, resin, it's just an alternative because it costs so much. It's so labor intense that it costs so much to make it. It's for that handful of guys that it's a way to be able to make a car that would never get made. And that's what, the 3D printing and the multimedia, that'll be in plastic. But if a car, like the cars in plastic, let's face it, we all prefer plastic. Plastic is the most fun to build, it's easiest. So all these other ones are whatever. Yeah, that's going to be a cool car. Can't wait for it to come out. The only thing we got to check to make sure he stays with that Toyota body.
Yep.
There's a slim chance it might change to another manufacturer, but we'll find that out. Actually, probably could find it out right now. But as soon as Jim's done with the car, we'll do the last check. But
we'll keep it
looking forward to that. It's going to be great. The Ron Capps car is first up on the list, and the Toyota. We still, what he called me yesterday to give me a price, and I did not call him back.
Oh, like Brian Senecal says, diecast, open the box, fun's over.
Yeah, that is a bummer. That I bought a lot of, let's face it, we're race car fans.
Yep.
I bought that Carousel 1, those Indy cars, and I found the same thing, Brian. It was like, I built it. I opened it. I was excited. It was cool. I looked at it, but it isn't that, I don't want to say a love affair, but you don't have that connection you have with, I'll look at my cars I built in the 80s and the 90s, and there's a connection to them, the story, and let's face it, model cars look a hell of a lot better in diecast. Diecast isn't even in the ballpark with a model car as far as, quality and, painting and finishes and things like that.
But if
there's a connection with a model car.
If your 5-year-old child or grandchild comes over and grabs it off the shelf and starts going vroom, 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 across the carpet, you don't care as much with a diecast because it's going to survive.
No, there's a no touch rule on my models. Yes. Marco will tell you when he was a little kid, there was always I could leave it right on the table. Nobody would ever touch it. But anyways, guys, we're past 8 o'clock. Looking forward to it. I have no idea who the heck's going to win this one. But this is going to be a wild few weeks here to the playoffs. And
do we have an Indy race this weekend too?
No, it's next week. They got 2 ovals left and they're done. Pelot already's champ. So the Pelot Indy car will be shipping this week. If you bought it, get it. If you didn't get it and you want it, buy it now. You can get it delivered this next week and have it by the end of the week. And you can be building it for the last 2 races. Is that amazing? You can build the Indy 500 car winner before the season ends. And their season's short as crap.
Yeah.
Before the season ends. So June, July, August. Less than 3 months later, after the Indy 500, you could theoretically, if you can get it built in the next, you could have that thing. It's only halfway through the months, so you could have that less than 90 days after the race built. That's going to be cool. Someone's got to do it. Come on. That's a challenge out there.
And,
somebody's got to finish it before the first guy that finishes it gets a special award.
Hey, lean on Marco to at least try to get this driver up on the website, even if it's just kind of a link on the IndyCar page with come up with a price for this and see, because he's got a couple dozen of these at least, and it would be nice.
It's not a one project thing, Jim. You got to be able to get it all.
Oh no, it's not. Yeah. I'm just saying, while the iron is hot, go for it.
Yeah, so, you gotta get the whole program set up. But anyways, can't wait to get the IndyCar parts. Me neither. I'm right with you there, and. Anyways, who knows what happens this weekend? I think we're going to watch some history with Marc Marquez. Already did a little today by pulling off the qualifying win. He's won every, they call them sprint races. He's won all but one sprint race. His brother won the one they didn't win, and he got second. And so he's going into tomorrow's main race. And what's funny is that he does even better in those, even though he has less wins because he crashed a couple times. But it's tires. He learned how to save the tires, and that's why I'd look out for Denny Hamlin this weekend, your favorite driver. And he can save tires.
He's not a likable guy, and that's his fault. But he is a damn good driver. And
he's a great driver.
He is a great driver. Yeah. So, and it doesn't matter where he qualifies, because he is the snake in the grass. He can always pull it out from anywhere, and he's got a chance to win at just about anything because he's just a great driver, and he gets up there.
I'll be honest with you.
He's not exactly the best human sometimes.
I'm rooting for Brad Keselowski, the old guy.
Yeah.
He's starting pretty up front there. I'd love to see Brad Keselowski win this damn race, get in the playoffs, and give it a run.
Yep.
He's a great driver. They really turned that whole organization around, and hats off to him, and hats off to you guys. Thanks for watching us. Thanks for buying any of our kits.
For letting these old guys
that say, I love the old ones. I love the new ones. I love whatever you want, man. Just as long as you give us a little crack at it here or there, we really appreciate it. And doing the best we can out of this little garage band, two idiots that we could have invested our money in something that was way more profitable. But instead, we wanted to do, at our age, we wanted to do something that was fun, that we loved. And we love racing. Jim loves designing. I love building models my whole life since a little boy. And so we decided, you know what? If you're gonna head down that last trail, do something you love, you know, and then it's not work.
Heading for the last roundup.
We're just like you guys. You know, we look forward to the kits coming out. We can't wait. So I mean, yeah, it's been I wish we had a floor of design team, and you know, but you got two guys, one in Texas, one in California, and three other people, and that's pretty much the whole operation. And we outsource with Chad and Tom, you know, and stuff. So we outsource. Of course, you got Clay. We went and got some of the great players, you know. We got Mario making our decals, and you know, we got Jeff Gordon injecting our cars, and so we got some pretty good people on the team. But it's been a blast, man, and can't wait for the funny car, the Lotus 38. I'll have it for you next week. It'll probably be up on the site. We're shooting to get 100 pieces out of it. These are low run, high cost cars. We'll see if it goes. If it doesn't go, it'll be one and done. You know, we'll sell it, and that will be it. You know, but if it goes, we'll go down that road of old Indy cars and keep coming out with one, at least a new one every year. You know, so that you have something new to build. But we'll see how it goes. All right, guys. Well, thank you very much. Take care. God bless you all. And keep our buddy Doug in your thoughts and prayers. All right?
Yep.
All right.
Thank you, guys.
Thanks, Jim.
Talk to you later on. And I don't think I have anything else. Let's say play outro and end stream. That's what I want to do. Talk to you later, Rick. Talk to you later, guys.
Bye-bye.
All you from all over the planet. That just blows me away. So thanks for spending your Saturday mornings, evenings, Sunday mornings for our friends Tomoya. Hey, you stuck with us the whole time. And it's what, 2 a.m., something like that in Japan. So anyway, guys, see you next week. And clubbies, see you on Tuesday.